what's going on, what I'm learning. So today I found this is probably the best video about WAP that I have found. And for those of you that have not heard about WAP yet, let me just tell you briefly what it is. Now, essentially, you've heard of probably school, Kajabi, random mentoring stuff that people typically sell. Kajabi, school, stand, store. But this is very important because I learned about WAP from a marketing podcast. And the reason I'm learning so much about marketing right now is because you have to understand where your most underpriced attention is. And I truly believe that in about, let's call it 8 to 12 months, some of your biggest, and I mean the biggest brands are going to be on this because guess what? Let me kind of give you some sort of baseline. Now, normally you might hear the term CPM, which is essentially what is your cost to get 1,000 views on a platform such as Meta, right? Instagram ads, Facebook ads. And that could be usually around like $10. However, on WAP, there's a thing called content rewards. And with content rewards, that allows you to essentially how would I say it, get almost, I've heard it as low as like $1.70 to like $3 of CPM, which means you are essentially reducing your marketing ad spend by about 70, 80% while achieving the same amount of views. And that's because the algorithms are so good about pushing the content to the right people to get more awareness for whatever topic that they're interested in, right? It's really more interest media than social media, is the kind of term that I've been really relating to. Now, here's the interesting part. On WAP, you also can be a creator. So when I tell people like, hey, go create your own YouTube channel, blah, 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 so that you can learn how to do whatever you do. Well, for creators now, this is how you truly understand how can I create and monetize on my audience. And for me, I'm not planning on like creating my own mentorship because that's just honestly my time is just so busy, just focus on the full day-to-day basis on development. So I don't want to start a whole full course. It's a lot of work, but doesn't mean that with the platform that we created, we can't joint venture with another person that's very successful in doing this. That can be a great teacher, and I can just kind of pour gasoline in the fire, so to speak, and help them get their message out there. Because I want to make sure I'm teaming with people that is full of integrity, that can live up to their promises, but more importantly, they don't try to oversell what they can do. Because I think the biggest part or the biggest issue with real estate mentors is like they will say, hey, buy this course, you want to make $5,000 in 30 days. It's so BS. Is it possible? Yeah, but then now it becomes this like 1% success rate and it was just clickbait. I'm much more of, let's say if you're in Section 8 and you're looking to invest in passive income, I'm not going to tell you you're going to be able to quit your job in 2, 3 years. It might be something that you work towards for like 20 years. That's the reality, right? So my message should be like, hey, if you are a person that's looking to make a quick buck in real estate, don't buy this, right? If you are in a steady corporate job that you want to start developing a little bit of side income because you have no idea what's coming down the road for you with AI potentially replacing your job, now's a good time to start building some passive income so that at least you have something on the side should anything ever happen, right? That's just called fiscal responsibility. That's called diversification. Okay. Now, this YouTube video, what I'm showing and why I'm showing this is because I'm trying to share with you just how flexible you can be as you're kind of going through setting your products and everything, right? There's different payment options. And I really believe that Whop is just making all the money through essentially payment transaction processing. But the interesting part is like they have so many different sort of apps on Whop. So you can create your own community, you can have your own chat app. It's almost essentially like a new school mentality, but way more simpler to a group chat function, which is like way more attractive. Right? That's what people really want. Something they have bounties, so that's how you gamify certain things, newsletters. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Easy enough. Now, the more users use your product, the more money you make. Interesting. So, how can they use your WAP more? They have bounties. Okay, I like that. Okay, content rewards. Bounties, the most powerful way. You pay them for social media shout outs, success stories, content creation. Oh, this is smart. What a great way to spread, especially if you can share. That's really powerful. Oh, that's so good. That's so smart. Oh, here we go. Content rewards. This is what you want to really focus on, right? This allows your creators, brands. This is how you get to the $3 per CPM that we were talking about earlier. And I heard about this on another podcast called Open Residency. So good, right? So you would pay. Look at this part on the right. On the right, you would pay users a set rate, essentially $1 per thousand views, but you have a budget. So if for some reason something goes viral, you might end up at like 70 cents per thousand views because even if that video keeps going viral, your budget is capped. You don't exceed that budget, right? That's interesting because this is now how you get user generated content talking about you, talking about your brand, talking about your product. And that's how you expand your reach to a astronomical way. It's so good. I love it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. This is how you get set up in the Whop marketplace. Oh, that's good. Get set up Whop marketplace. This is where you can go and essentially learn how to make passive income. Essentially, if you look at the Whop marketplace, you can figure out, okay, well, what is going on here? How are people making money? And what kind of content can I create that can help promote their brand? Interesting, right? So interesting. But obviously, you can create a certain sort of a, I would say, you can create a funnel if you have the right tracking links to understand where your volume or where your traffic or where your audience is coming from, especially if they are seeking like coaching as an example, right? And sometimes I've seen people where they use Calendly to essentially just book a 30-minute call for like $500 an hour, right? Great. That's very possible. You can do that right within here. And this allows you to create a constant reach, a constant touch point with your people. Because I'm not sure you notice, right? If you are ever on Facebook, you are heavily limited by what you can do. Because sometimes the post that you make, it might not even surface to your people in your group. That's how crazy it is, right? Just because they're in your Facebook group does not mean they're going to see your content. Does not mean they're going to see your posts. And that's a crazy part. Versus you had a group chat. I mean, you can push that out easily, right? Learn how to create this. This is going to be so good. And I like how flexible they made it with all their payment options. So check it out. This is what I recommend, especially if you learn how to optimize your WAP. I mean, now you're really cooking. But at the minimum, hey, there's no issues for you to figure out how can you get moving right away and do something at least. All right. All right, everybody. Hope this was helpful, everybody. I just want to share with you what I'm learning every single day. I don't only talk about affordable housing. This part is really important because one, if you are chasing affordable housing as just a side income, right? Purely because it's a side income, you don't care about the people. Honestly, I would much rather you not invest in Section 8 or affordable housing. Because if you're just after the money, eventually there's going to be a problem that comes up that's going to be so difficult. And you're not going to break through that wall because guess what? It's going to be too difficult because your why was only money. And sometimes it's not a strong enough why for many people. For some people it is, but for some people it is not. So be careful who you learn from. Ask an extra question about what they're saying, what they're teaching, so that you can figure out what's going to happen. All right. Hope this was helpful, everybody. Please be prepared. Don't have your head in the sand. Learn these skills because if you don't, you're going to be behind and you don't want to be behind on this. Learn the stuff. All right. Have an amazing day. I'll see y'all tomorrow for day 677. Have a good one, everybody.